Here we go. Okay. I always have to make sure that it's live. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So it is live. It is live. It is live. It is live. All right. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope that you're having a wonderful, 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 wonderful night. Um, it is such a great day. I've had an amazing week and I have done some reflection. And well, let me first start by saying my name is Tamika Bispham. Um, I'm a single mom of two beautiful children. That's the noise that you hear in the background. Um, they mean the world to me. And about 5 years ago, I ended up in a very rough situation, shelter life, not having a direction, not knowing if I was going or coming, just not happy. And that was a changing point for me. And the topic that we're going to talk about tonight is self awareness. And that's when self awareness really entered my life. And I think that the company that we're in and the person that we are, we need to understand who we are and what we have going on and what we're trying to accomplish with the company because I think that that's the only thing that will really get us to the next point. But back to self awareness and me. So I had a really rough time, but I really started understanding like you're where you're at because you put yourself in this position. And that's something that we all need to understand. You're exactly where you're at. You've accomplished exactly what you want and everything that you've done from everything that you have done. Like it's your actions that got you where you are. And if you can overstand that, you are beginning to understand self awareness. So that's when it happened for me. And I was introduced to our beautiful company, Wealth Generators, which I absolutely adore and love because we are innovators, we are amazing, and we do awesome, 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 awesome things all the time. So very excited about that. So I'm very self aware of who I am and also what the company offers. We are just woo to the moon at this point, honestly, but we're really amazing. Um, but let's get into this training because I think that this is going to be really fun. It's going to make you really start to think about you as a person and you as a business owner, men and women, because it's it's important for the men to understand their boss ladies and understand how they tick, and and it's really important for our boss ladies to understand who they are. So these are things that I've used to really get myself and propel myself to greatness within not only myself and within my kids, you know, because that was something that was very hard and very trying, but self awareness really made me understand that. I even had a call recently with my team, the core team, and it was like, let's be honest with ourselves. That's one of the questions that you really need to ask yourself when it comes to self awareness. Am I really being honest with me about what's going on? Am I doing that? So I would, and that's my cat that you hear now. That's my other kid, my new kid. Um, yes, jumping back and forth. I think that that is what you need to definitely think about. That's one of the first questions you ask yourself. Am I being completely honest with myself? Because truth is really self awareness, but you need to see the real truth of who you are. But let's jump into it. So, if you really look in the dictionary about self awareness, it tells you that it's a not conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Ooh, ooh, now let's really like break that down and then put it into a business aspect. This is I want to make sure that we understand that we're going to bring these things back together. And the style of training that I do, It's very interactive. I know that we can't really talk to each other, but it is something that I want you to, you know, I want you to think about, and I want you to write down things and really self assess. That's another part of self awareness, which is really good for you. So, you know, me personally, when I think about self awareness, I think about, um, I think that it is really honing in on yourself and the choices that becomes, then choices become, life choices become so much easier when you hone in on yourself and you really look at yourself. And personal development with the style of business that we are in, important, and really really knowing self and what you're gonna do. If you're going to say, I want to reach legend, are you really going to reach legend? Are you willing to do what it takes to reach legend? And are you doing the daily activities to actually reach that goal? You know, these are the things that you have to think about when you're saying, I'm going to be this. Am I doing the key steps to get me to that? Now, I want to break down exactly the things that stuck out to me most with understanding self-awareness was one, a conscious knowledge, not subconscious, but conscious knowledge of what's happening, right? So that's one thing. Then the second part that I want you to really think about is your own character, right? And then the third thing is the motives behind it, right? And these are the things that really help you with understanding self-awareness, right? And I think that it's so amazing if you can break these three things down. And then after breaking these three things down, when you get to that third part, which we'll talk about the most, you will understand where you're trying to go. Okay, so the first thing that I said we're going to talk about is a conscious knowledge. Have you ever heard of the term knowing thyself? Knowing thyself, understanding basically, again, who you are, but knowing, like, I know that I'm capable of getting this done. I know that I'm capable of getting 30 calls done, and I'm going to get 30 calls done, right? Today, I'm going to get it done. That's knowing thyself. Knowing thyself is also saying, I fell short, and being able to say, well, why? Why did I fall short on my calls today? I didn't want to do it. And not making excuses for yourself is such a big piece in this. It's going to be so peaceful and so powerful at the same time, if that makes sense. Because when you know yourself, you become very powerful. And the quotes, because I'm a quotes girl, I love quotes. The quotes that you can find to back that up and just live by are great. Um, so let's go into the next one. So the next one is your own character. And your own character is what you're willing to do, literally. What are you willing to do when no one's looking, right? When you think no one's looking. Are you gonna be like are you gonna be like the champion in the ring? The one who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and runs like a crazy person and does all the extra workouts and all of that stuff? Or are you the one that's going to slack off because no one's watching and be unprepared? You know, this is this is probably one of the biggest pieces that people lack within network marketing and with the business side of things. Um, the conviction to really sit there and do what it takes. So, what does it really take as far as your character? It takes discipline. You need to discipline that character and get on the calls that you say you're going to get on. Get on them. Do what you're supposed to do. Be a leader. Be an example. And lead by example, not spit out rules and regulations. Lead by example. you know. And this really shows people your character, because if someone can say, you know what, I can really count on that person, that means that you have a good character, right? Now the third part is the motives. Now motives for me personally, when I think about motives, I think about purpose. um, your purpose. What is your purpose? You know, why are you doing what you're doing? Why did you join WG? Was it about money? Was it about time freedom? Was it about freedom? Was it about impacting lives? Or was it about all of the above? Me personally, it was all of the above, you know. Um, and I've done all of the above, right? And right now, what I'm honing in on is how can I maximize that, right? So having beautiful people like partnering up with beautiful people like Michelle Wilson, the founder of the Boss Lady Movement. These are these are ways that I can hone in on what I want to do next, right? And these are things that you have to tell yourself as well. How can I take it to the next level? You know, that's a question that I always ask myself. How can you make today better than yesterday? You know, again with the self-assessment. It's really a beautiful thing once you start like getting it, right? Now, what I want to do is I love notes. I'm like a note fanatic. So I'm going to read a couple of quotes for you when it comes to first I'm going to do character, because character is so important. Our character is so important when it comes to being based on integrity and doing what we're supposed to do and keeping on doing what we're supposed to do when it comes towards the company, when it comes towards your personal life. Because really, how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's something that, just so you know, those are nuggets. That's something that I learned that word, nuggets. Um, in the first quote that I'm going to read for you, it says, our character is defined by what we do when there's no one looking. And that was the first one. Now, the second one, and I love this one because what happens when you get under pressure? When your back is up against the wall and you know it's the end of the month and you still have maybe like two more spaces before you wake up. What do you do? Do you buckle? Do you go after it with all you got? Are you sad for not making it happen? Like what do you do? You know, and that's something you have to ask yourself. What do I do under pressure? Someone that's really important to me. I absolutely love him. His name is JC Rangel. He's also a top leader here in WG. And he says, he goes, a man is measured by the problems that affect him. And I was like, woo, that's so great. So is is someone leaving your business going to affect you in such a dramatic way where you're just like you can't do anything, or are you going to rise to the occasion and double up, you know, and make it so that your business is so big you don't have those kind of issues, right? What will you do under pressure? So the second one says again, character is revealed when pressure is applied. I really like that quote, and I'll repeat it again. It says, character is revealed when pressure is applied. It's an amazing quote to have. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is the is purpose. And I associate this one with someone that I recently met that's a part of WG, and his name is Cliff Ron. Met him in New York recently, and he was just so incredible. And his conviction and his purpose and why he does what he does, and just how he keeps going, you know, and wanting more and just making it happen is so beautiful. You know, I've met a lot of amazing people in my time with the company. Again, that's why I tell people you should go to as many events as you possibly can, because you will never know who's going to be the one to impact your life or what you can learn from all these people. I've learned so much, and I'm telling you, one of the things that I understood very early on is if I wanted to be successful, I need to surround myself with the successful people. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Surround yourself with the successful people. Get on all of the calls that people tell you to get on. Do the action steps so that you can get what you want with this company and for yourself, right? So, this quote is really touching, and it says, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And for me and for WG, me personally, you know, a life with WG is so meaningful because I know the impact that it has on people, and I can physically see the impact that it has on my team, right? From doing things differently. Like, I paid off a debt yesterday, and it was such a great day for me, you know, and understanding that WG really has a purpose to help other people with their purpose, right? It is such a big stepping stone, and it's a right step in the right direction for where you want to go. And they really help you with wealth building. It's so amazing, but you really have to take the action steps, and you have to apply and do all of the products. Every single product that we have, you should be using them. There's no reason that you're not using the products that have been given to you, because that means that there's no purpose behind it. Like you're this other awesome guy that I had a call with earlier this week, Jay Nolan. He said that, are you a fan, or did you make a decision? And are you going to stick with your decision? Are you just going to be a fan of your company, or are you going to actually go out and make it happen? Recently, my business partner said that he's going to pick up his crusade on helping as many people and families as possible. That's purpose. And WG offers that to you. They give you all of the tools that you need in order to get this done and accomplish this successfully, right? It's so beautiful in so many different aspects of your life, right? Um, Now, the two that I left for last, of course, has to do with self awareness. And the ones about self awareness one says, when you I'm are, not sure. Oh, there goes Siri. Siri always goes off. She just has a mind of her own. When you know yourself, you are empowered. When you accept yourself, you're invincible. And I'm going to read that again. So it says, when you know yourself, you are empowered. When you accept yourself, you're invincible. So when you accept yourself for who you are, which I have, which I have been really honing in on now, accepting myself for who I am, and not trying to be all these other people. I've left that. I don't want to be a fan. I want to be the best Tamika, because Michelle Wilson says you are the only you. You, right there. Yes, you. You're the only you. So why not make that the best version of you, right? And when you make yourself the best version that you possibly can be, you become invincible. You become a force to be reckoned with. All of these amazing leaders that you see, they are they understand that they need to be the best them. They want to be the heroes to their kids. They want to be them. That's it, right? And that's something that you need to figure out for yourself. And that's when you arise and become that legend that WG tells you to be, right? When you can really understand who you are. Now, the next one is actually, this one was really cool. And it says, he who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. Now, I wanted to leave with this one last, and I want to relate back to the business on this one personally, because it's good to know other people. It's really, I love people and I understand people. And I suggest that you do the same thing. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just a little book for you to, go ahead and take a look at by Dale Carnegie. Yes. You definitely should take a look at that book. It's a very good book. Very, 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 very good book. Um, but he who knows he who knows others is wise. So you are wise. So I know that I'm wise because I can see someone and I can sense body language and I can understand where they're coming from. So I am wise. But if you could master yourself, imagine what you could do with the business. Imagine, like, literally, you're enlightened. You know what you will and will not do. You know the depths of where you're willing to go. And there's like this beautiful peace and power that comes out of it. I promise you that. And I'm finding that 2 years in the game now. Woo! I'm really finding that out. And I want you to find that out too. And I want you to share that with other people as well because it will take you to where you need to go, especially with WG. You know, when you know yourself, when you know your product, you have to really think about that. If you knew your product like nobody's business, don't you feel like you'd be enlightened? Don't you feel like there's a sense of power and no one can't say anything to you? Do you know why, people like Anthony Napolitano can walk around and spit out WG the way he does? Do you know why the owners can do it? Do you know why they're the owners? Do you know why Joe Gomez moves the way he does? It's that posture because they know their product inside and out. And I suggest you do the same thing. Knowing others is great. Knowing your product is so amazing. So you need to know your product. And that's definitely a part of being self aware because, yes, you need to know yourself, but a part of that is understanding the knowledge that comes behind that. And there's so many different aspects. We could go on and on and on for the whole night, honestly. But I want you guys to really have a conscious understanding of why you're doing what you're doing with WG. What made you even start this journey, right? And are you taking the action steps to get you where you want to be? And if not, what can you do to get yourself to where you want to be? And what are you personally doing to excel yourself, like in your own body, in your own mind? Are you reading? Are you doing personal development? Because personal development is very awesome. Like it's something that needs to happen. And are you doing action? Personal development, action, conviction, and confidence. Like literally will get you where you need to go. Um, it has been such a pleasure talking to you, beautiful people, tonight. And I love, 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 love Michelle Wilson for giving me the opportunity to get on here. And, the one thing that I will tell you guys about Michelle is she will go so hard for anyone who asks for help. Um, and you should understand that again, that's that purpose. She found her purpose, she found her niche, and now she's living it by giving other women the opportunity to really shine and reach out to you guys, right? So we can't wait to have new boss ladies get on these calls, you know do these calls as well, because that's going to be so amazing to see more women getting on here and getting to this point. You know, it's been a very long journey, but it's been such a fun and self reflecting, self aware journey, you know. And so many beautiful things are coming from the company, from the Boss Lady movement, which is so amazing. I think we're almost at 1,000 plus people at this point, which is really great. Um, so I think that I'm hoping that you like this call. And if you do, get more people on the call, and they don't have to, be in the company, because them seeing this shows them who we really are. And we want people to know who we are, right? So Get people on, show them, give them the love, spread the word. Like, WG's here. The Boss Lady movement with WG is booming. We're awesome, you know. And if you need anything from me, if you need some help, some words, whatever, if you just want to chat, I love chatting. I do. I really like talking if you haven't noticed. Um, Reach out. You can find me on Facebook, Tamika Bispham. I'm always down to chat if I'm not like busy, of course. Schedule some time. You can also look up Michelle Wilson. That is someone who you need to be in direct contact with. She always has amazing lives and so much knowledge is in there. So many trainings. And if you just want to get up with the Boss Lady movement, drop a comment below, right down there, and we'll get back to you. I hope you guys all have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. You're all kings and queens. That's how I end it every single time. There is greatness within you, and all you have to do is strive for it. Have a wonderful night. Bye.